Namaskar, this is Seshu Chira. Welcome you all back to Anska Academy. Today, now we will discuss how did Aurangzeb defend himself, or what are the plans of Aurangzeb to face the Mongolian invasions. Let's look at that. So the Delhi Sultans were facing a threat from the Mongolian invasions. It was during the period of Alauddin Khalji, and again the Mongolians attacked during the period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The Sultanate was attacked in the early years of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's reign. In the initial years, after Muhammad bin Tughlaq came to power, in the first years, he was attacked by the Mongolians. So now, Mongolian army was defeated. So the Mongol army, when it tried to attack during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, it was defeated. It was defeated. So when it was defeated, automatically it gave Muhammad bin Tughlaq the confidence, the strength of his army. He is very, very confident about the strength of his army. Now he thought that we can plan an attack and attack on Transoxiana in Iran, where he can occupy that. See, once you become victorious, obviously we all will feel that we are more strengthened because it gives you a lot of confidence. The same thing is happening with Muhammad bin Tughlaq here. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was very confident after they defeated the Mongols who came at the border. So he thought, I can defeat the Mongols in their own place also. So what was his plan was, he started to increase the number of the standing army members, the soldiers. So he therefore raised a large standing army. Then, instead of constructing a garrison town, he used the old fort cities, which are 4 cities, and was emptied with the residents, and soldiers were garrisoned there. So the old 4 cities which were there in Delhi have been emptied, and they were replaced or brought or given to soldiers to live there. So the residents of the old city were sent to the new city capital, that is Daulatabad in south. So he shifted the residents of the old city to new capital city known as Daulatabad. Firstly, he was attacked by the Mongols. The army was able to defeat the Mongols. So he felt very confident. He started to increase his strength to plan an attack on the Mongols. He raised a large standing army, and he has emptied the 4 cities, and the residents who were there in the 4 cities were taken to the new capital city, Daulatabad, where the soldiers were stationed in the old 4 cities around Delhi. Now, the produce was same. Area was collected as tax to feed the army. So they started to collect the tax to feed the army. But to meet the expenses of a large number of soldiers, the Sultan has to put additional taxes. When you increase the taxes, it is naturally a burden to the public. On adding on to this, there was a famine which coincided in that area. The area where he has increased the taxes, the same year there was a terrible famine. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq could not estimate that, and he made public to get angry against him by increasing the taxes in the odd time, because if it is famine, they themselves won't be able to have sufficient food. So in that period, if we increase taxes, definitely they will get upset. Apart from this, Muhammad bin Tughlaq also paid salaries to his soldiers in cash. But instead of controlling the prices, he used a token currency, somewhat like present day's paper currency. He made it out of a cheap metal. Now, why we are calling it as a cheap metal? The metals which are used to make the coins in the olden days or during the period of Delhi Sultans were made of gold and silver. So he did not use either gold or silver, but he used bronze to make a token currency. So people of the 14th century did not trust these coins because they are used of gold, which of precious metal. Next to that is silver, but bronze is something new and not so costly. So they were very smart. They saved their gold and silver coins and paid all their taxes to the Sultan in the form of token currency. So what did they do? They took the token currency. Instead of paying the taxes in gold and silver, they started to pay it only in token currency. Now this currency could also be counterfeited easily, can be duplicated easily. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq's administrative measures were a failure. Where his campaign into Kashmir was a disaster. He tried to attack the Kashmir rulers and occupy them, but he failed there also. So he then gave up his plans to invade Transoxiana and disbanded his large army. So initially he was enthusiastic and happy when he when he is able to defeat the Mongols who came to attack him. But basing on that, he wanted to attack the Mongols and occupy their land. But as the time passed by, he planned to attack Kashmir, and where he was a disaster there, he realized that he cannot attack them and he has disbanded the army. Now, in this process, he has shifted people from Delhi to Daulatabad, where people were upset. He raised the taxes in the famine affected regions of Ganga Yamuna belt. And third one, he has given the token currency, which was being recalled. So like this, Muhammad bin Tughlaq tried many steps, but none of them was successful. So in the list of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's failures, we sometimes forget that for the first time in the Indian history, a Delhi Sultan planned a campaign to capture the Mongolian territory. At least he planned it. Whereas Alauddin Khalji might be successful in all his steps, but he never planned to attack the Mongolians. He only planned to defend. He always planned on the defensive measures. So that is a fundamental difference which we generally forget when we compare the Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. In the next series of video, we will be making the comparative study of the steps of Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So please stay tuned and subscribe to our channel.